What you went through recently was never meant to destroy you, even though at times it felt unbearable, confusing, and deeply unfair. The delays, the losses, the emotional exhaustion, and the moments where you questioned everything were not signs that you were being punished or forgotten. They were part of a precise preparation process that could not be rushed or skipped. If you had received what you were asking for earlier, it would have crushed you, distracted you, or pulled you off the path entirely. Preparation often looks like suffering when you don't yet see what you're being prepared for. There were seasons where nothing made sense, where doors closed back to back, and where the harder you tried to do the right thing, the more resistance you felt. That wasn't because you were doing something wrong. It was because your capacity was being stretched. Strength was being built quietly, internally, in ways that comfort never could. You were learning discernment through disappointment, patience through delay, and self-trust through betrayal. These lessons are not given to everyone because not everyone is meant to carry what you are being shaped to carry. Many times you asked why it had to be this hard, why others seemed to move ahead effortlessly while you struggled just to stay afloat. What you didn't realize was that ease would have weakened you. You were being trained to stand firm under pressure, to remain grounded when things shake, and to move forward without validation or applause. The weight you carried was proportional to the level you are meant to reach. Light assignments do not require heavy preparation. There were moments when you felt like giving up, when you thought about settling, shrinking, or walking away from what once felt like a calling. That urge wasn't failure, it was fatigue from growth. Growth is exhausting because it demands that you shed old versions of yourself before the new one is fully formed. You were asked to let go of identities, relationships, habits, and expectations that once felt safe. Letting go always feels like loss before it feels like freedom. What looked like punishment was actually protection. Certain things were taken away because they would have delayed you. Certain people exited your life because they would have drained you. Certain plans fell apart because they were too small for what's ahead. You weren't being denied, you were being redirected. But redirection is uncomfortable when you don't know the destination. All you can see is what you lost, not what you avoided. You learned how to survive without constant reassurance. You learned how to listen to your intuition when no one else understood it. You learned how to stand alone without becoming bitter. These are not accidental skills. They are required for the next phase of your journey, where clarity will matter more than comfort and integrity will matter more than approval. You were being taught how to move without needing permission. The timing of your breakthroughs was delayed because your character needed to be aligned before your circumstances changed. Power without grounding leads to destruction. Visibility without healing leads to collapse. You were being refined so that when things finally shift, you won't self-sabotage or give away what you worked so hard to become. The struggle slowed you down so you could grow roots instead of just reaching for results. Even the moments where you felt forgotten had a purpose. Silence forced you to develop inner confidence. Waiting forced you to build endurance. Rejection forced you to separate your worth from external validation. These lessons don't feel spiritual while you're in them, they feel lonely, frustrating, and unfair. But looking back, you'll realize how necessary they were to shape your perception, your reactions, and your standards. You were not being punished for past mistakes. You were being prepared for future responsibility. The depth of what you went through matches the depth of impact you are meant to have. Shallow paths don't require deep healing. Easy roads don't produce resilient travelers. What tried to break you instead revealed what you're capable of enduring without losing yourself. There is a reason you didn't quit, even when it would have been easier to walk away. Something inside you knew that this pain was temporary but the transformation was permanent. You kept going not because you were fearless, but because you were being guided through something you didn't yet understand. The version of you that entered the struggle could not have handled what's coming next, so you had to be reshaped slowly, through pressure, through waiting, through moments of doubt that forced you to choose growth over bitterness. Every setback was recalibrating you. Every delay was strengthening your foundation. Every tear was washing away something that didn't belong in the next chapter. You weren't being tested to see if you would fail, you were being tested to see if you would mature, if you would stay true to your values when shortcuts tempted you, if you would remain humble when anger tried to harden your heart, if you would keep believing even when nothing around you confirmed it, because the preparation was never about the struggle itself, it was about who you would become while enduring it and whether you would recognize that what felt like punishment was actually alignment unfolding in disguise as resistance, shaping you quietly for a role that requires strength, awareness, restraint, and a level of inner stability that can only be built by walking through what you once thought you didn't deserve. The isolation you have experienced was never a random occurrence. It was carefully orchestrated by forces beyond your immediate understanding, designed to place you in a space where growth, clarity, and self-discovery could happen without distraction. When you look back at your journey, you may notice moments when it felt like the world had abandoned you, when friends disappeared, doors closed unexpectedly, and even family seemed distant. These moments were not signs of rejection or punishment. They were intentional pauses, a divine mechanism to prepare you for the responsibilities and truths you were meant to embrace. Isolation is often misunderstood because it feels lonely and uncomfortable, but in reality, it is a form of spiritual training, a necessary space where your inner strength is cultivated and your awareness is heightened. Being isolated forces you to confront yourself in ways you would never have in the midst of constant noise and companionship. It exposes the layers of your identity that were built to seek approval or validation from others. In isolation, you are stripped down to your core, left with nothing but your own thoughts, emotions, and faith. This can feel intimidating and even painful, especially when the world around you moves as if you are not part of it, but it is in these moments that true self-mastery begins. You learn to rely on your intuition, to trust the whispers of your soul, and to recognize the patterns and signs that guide you forward. Without this solitude, your connection to your purpose could have remained clouded by external influences and noise. The timing and nature of this isolation were not arbitrary. It was tailored to your path, matching the pace at which your spirit could handle growth. Too much exposure too soon could have overwhelmed you, led you astray, or diluted the lessons you were meant to learn. Being alone in this way forced patience, endurance, and discernment. You discovered who you truly are when no one is watching, and who is truly supportive when everything falls away. You came face to face with your fears, your doubts, and your hidden potential. Isolation acts as a mirror, reflecting both the shadow and the light within, pushing you toward a deeper understanding of yourself that companionship alone could never provide. During these periods, you may have questioned why you felt so disconnected, why your prayers seemed unanswered, or why life seemed to move for everyone else but not for you. These questions were not signs of weakness, they were signals that transformation was occurring beneath the surface. The universe, or the divine, knows that certain gifts, missions, or truths cannot be rushed. The isolation was not meant to punish you for being different or for stepping into your purpose, but to protect you from distractions, toxic influences, and decisions that could derail your journey. It created a sacred space where clarity could emerge naturally, where the lessons could take root deeply, and where you could prepare for the magnitude of what lies ahead without compromise. Isolation also teaches discernment. When you are alone, the people who truly align with your energy, vision, and growth eventually return to you, and those who were only temporary are naturally filtered out. You learn to see through pretenses, to understand who genuinely supports your evolution, and to recognize the relationships and commitments that are worth nurturing. This discernment is essential because the next phase of your journey requires you to make decisions with wisdom and precision. The loneliness of isolation sharpens your ability to distinguish between what is necessary and what is superficial, between genuine opportunities and distractions that only drain your energy. Spiritually, isolation can feel like both a punishment and a gift, depending on how you perceive it. At first, it may feel like a trial, but over time it reveals itself as a sanctuary where your inner life deepens. You develop a stronger connection to your purpose, to your faith, and to the unseen guidance that has been leading you all along. Solitude allows your soul to speak louder than the chaos of the world, enabling you to hear insights that would have been drowned out otherwise. The more you embrace this isolation rather than resist it, the clearer your path becomes, and the more resilient you grow in your ability to navigate challenges that others cannot understand. This orchestrated isolation also aligns you with timing that is beyond human comprehension. While it may seem like you are waiting endlessly, every moment of solitude is a moment where your readiness is being calibrated. You are being prepared to step into a role, a mission, or a reality that demands unwavering focus, strength, and awareness. The patience learned in isolation becomes an essential skill, allowing you to respond to opportunities with grace and confidence rather than fear or desperation. Without this period, you might have rushed into situations prematurely, exposing yourself to unnecessary conflict, harm, or regret. Isolation is not simply about being physically alone. It is about the refinement of your inner world, about strengthening the mind, spirit, and heart to handle what lies ahead. It is about building resilience when no one is around to cheer you on, about finding peace within yourself when external validation is absent, and about recognizing your value independent of others' approval. The loneliness teaches self-reliance, but also humility, reminding you that your purpose is bigger than personal comfort or recognition. It prepares you to stand strong, to lead with clarity, and to embrace responsibilities that require unwavering dedication and focus. Ultimately, the isolation you endured was not a curse but a divine strategy. It was a deliberate choice by the universe or the higher power guiding your life to place you in a position where you could grow in strength, awareness, and discernment without interference. Every moment of feeling disconnected, unseen, or unsupported was an investment in your spiritual, emotional, and mental preparation. This solitude has shaped you into someone capable of handling profound truths, elevated responsibilities, and life-changing opportunities. When you finally emerge from this period of isolation, you will carry with you a depth of understanding, resilience, and clarity that could not have been acquired any other way. A hidden truth about your purpose is beginning to surface, though it may feel unsettling because it challenges everything you thought you knew about yourself and your life. Many times, you have pursued paths, made decisions, or followed advice that seemed right in the moment, only to find that they didn't lead you where you were meant to go. The frustration, the confusion, and the sense of being off course were not mistakes, they were clues, guiding you toward a deeper understanding of the role you are meant to play in this life. Purpose is rarely obvious, especially when it is intertwined with spiritual growth, hidden responsibilities, or paths that others cannot see. The truth you are now beginning to glimpse has always existed, but circumstances, timing, and personal growth were required before you could fully comprehend it. Your purpose is not only about personal success or recognition, it is a calling that affects others, often in ways you cannot immediately measure. The experiences that felt random, painful, or unnecessary were actually shaping the tools, perspectives, and resilience needed to fulfill your mission. The hidden truth is that your life has been orchestrated with precision, and the twists, delays, and trials were never arbitrary. Every setback, disappointment, or detour was a preparation for a moment that demands clarity, discernment, and courage. When you finally step fully into your purpose, you will realize that nothing was wasted and that every experience contributed to a skill set, wisdom, or awareness you now carry. Many people live their lives chasing external markers of success, validation, or approval, yet your purpose is of a different nature. It often requires you to operate quietly, unseen, or in ways that are not immediately celebrated. This hidden truth about your purpose may feel isolating at first because it asks you to move differently from those around you, to prioritize alignment over comfort, and to trust intuition over popular opinion. You may feel misunderstood or disconnected because few can see the bigger picture that is guiding you. But this is intentional. The work of purpose cannot be fully grasped by others until it manifests in tangible outcomes. Your journey is unique, and the timing of its revelation is part of the divine orchestration of your life. There is also a spiritual dimension to this hidden truth. The signs, coincidences, and synchronicities you have been noticing are not random. They are signals pointing you toward your true path, confirming that you are moving closer to the realization of your purpose. Your intuition, often dismissed in the past, is now more finely tuned, guiding you to recognize opportunities and connections that align with your mission. What once seemed confusing or chaotic now begins to make sense as a pattern emerges, showing that your life has been moving toward this point all along. The hidden truth is that your purpose is not just for your benefit, it has ripple effects that extend far beyond what you can currently see. Understanding this purpose also requires embracing responsibility, courage, and accountability. You may feel a sense of urgency or pressure, as if time is accelerating, because the world needs the contribution that only you can make. The hidden truth is that this is not a burden, but a confirmation that you were chosen to navigate challenges that others could not, to offer insight, healing, or guidance, and to impact lives in ways that may not always be immediately visible. The weight of purpose can feel heavy, but it is also accompanied by clarity, vision, and the awakening of abilities that have long been dormant. Your experiences, trials, and lessons have prepared you for this moment. At the core of this revelation is a need for alignment. Your purpose cannot be fulfilled through compromise or half measures. It requires integrity, focus, and a willingness to let go of what no longer serves you. The hidden truth is that the discomfort, doubt, and fear you feel are part of the process of stripping away illusions, attachments, and distractions that cloud your understanding of what you are truly here to do. As you embrace this process, you gain a clearer sense of direction, a stronger connection to your inner guidance, and a heightened awareness of opportunities that resonate with your mission. This alignment is essential because purpose operates at a level beyond mere ambition. It functions as a blueprint for the life you are meant to live and the impact you are meant to make. The hidden truth also involves recognizing your unique gifts and talents. Many times, you have felt ordinary or unremarkable, comparing yourself to others and questioning your significance. Yet your purpose requires qualities and skills that are distinct to you, cultivated through your life experiences and refined by challenges. The realization of this truth often comes gradually, through reflection, insight, and the alignment of experiences that reveal patterns of meaning. You are beginning to see that what seemed like random events, coincidences, or setbacks were actually preparing you for the application of these gifts in a way that serves a greater purpose. This truth also calls for trust in timing. Your purpose unfolds according to a schedule that is not controlled by your immediate desires or understanding. Patience is essential, even when it feels like the world is moving faster than you, because every phase of preparation has a reason. The hidden truth is that being ready at the right moment is far more important than arriving early or forcing outcomes. Opportunities, insights, and connections appear when you are prepared to use them wisely, and this preparation is often invisible until the moment of manifestation. Your previous doubts, fears, and missteps were all shaping the readiness required to step fully into what you were meant to do. Ultimately, this hidden truth about your purpose is a revelation of both your potential and your responsibility. It challenges you to see beyond immediate circumstances, to trust the unseen guidance that has led you this far, and to embrace the role you are uniquely equipped to fulfill. The realization of your purpose will bring clarity, empowerment, and a profound sense of alignment, but it demands courage, persistence, and an unwavering commitment to the path that is uniquely yours. The deeper you understand this truth, the more you recognize that every experience, every challenge, and every moment of solitude has been preparing you to step into a life of meaning, influence, and spiritual resonance, and the next steps you take will solidify your emergence into the full expression of your calling.